The best way to find yourself, my friends, is to lose yourself in the service of others. And I try to incorporate this into my everyday life. So I welcome you and all of the new subscribers to part 15 of this RFEFP series, the Polar North, also known as the North Pole. Now this is our Earth's only magnetic monopole of inaccessibility that sits at the dead centre of the Arctic Ocean, that has long been very high of interest to scientists, adventurers, scholars, and of the ancients. And why, one may be asking? Because it's there, my friends. It's very real. 3,000 years BC, the Egyptians, the Arabs, and the Greeks all correctly believed that the heavens revolved around Earth's northernmost point, located directly under a star that the Greeks had called Polaris. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. How I wonder what you really are. The North Pole is a very special and unusual destination on the plain Earth, as the pole is really a magnetic monopole. But they do say, contemporary scientists, that magnetic monopoles are not really real. They are just hypothetical elementary particles that is an isolated magnet with only one magnetic pole. So it would be impossible to make a magnetic monopole from a bar magnet. But my friends, we do not live on a bar magnet, do we? No, we most certainly do not. Ring magnets, which are actually shaped like a flat disc, are capable of having radial and electromagnetism. So one magnetic pole is at the centre and all subsequent points out to the border surrounding it. And so, my friends on the plane, our Earth does have a border and not an edge. Now, a magnet like this can be found in loudspeakers and perfectly replicates what is found on the Earth without the obvious, my friends. The Earth is an incredible magnetic eco-battery system with one magnetic monopole at the dead centre. This is why the oceans are made of salt water and not drinking water. The sun provides the anode and the moon provides the cathode. It provides the correct necessary ingredients for the electromagnetic science to work perfectly. The magnetic fields can produce an electric current, and this is known as Faraday's law. And magnetism produced by electricity is called electromagnetism. And all of the entire known magnetic fields of our plain Earth all meet here together at the apex source of it all, at the North Monopole. This is a fact. And it's obviously the cause for the spectacular Northern Lights display. And even way back in 1600, William Gilbert published De Magnete, in which he concluded that the Earth behaved as a giant magnet. And to bring Tesla into this, we could actually call it magnetricity or ether magnetism. So the Arctic monopole of inaccessibility, well, the easiest way to think about the pole is in terms of radii. So it's a point that it is precisely equidistant from three faraway coastlines. It is exactly 626 miles from three different islands: Ellesmere Island at the northern tip of Canada, Komsomolets Island in Russia's Severinaia Zemlya Archipelago, and Henrietta Island in the East Siberian Sea. So in other terms, if you were to draw the biggest circle possible that the Arctic Ocean could contain, the pole would be at the point at its dead centre. So with the North Pole at the centre, Antarctica is around the outer rim of the Earth, providing what we call the border, the boundary of Earth. So the continents are spread out around the North Pole. There is a landmass that's directly below the bottom of Argentina and the Falklands, which is known to most as the so-called continent of Antarctica. But this is not true. It's just a very large piece of landmass with staggering importance. Over 70 scientific stations are based here all year round. So just like the Arctic North Pole is a very, very special place on Earth, this is not a continent. And so Antarctica is not a continent either. Just like, my friends, there is no yesterday and there is no tomorrow. There is really, only as you watch this, the now. So circumnavigation on our plain Earth can only be correctly achieved because on a compass, east and west are always at right angles to north. Travelling eastwards continuously takes you in a circle around the North Pole. Regardless of the distance, anywhere on the plain Earth, the principles will still remain the same. Using a compass or a gyro compass, or simply looking at Polaris as a reference for eastwards or westwards travel, it will always take the navigator in a broad circle around the North Pole. This is another very real fact. There is only one point that is fixed, my friends, and that's the north. It is impossible for any other point to be fixed, as the south point of the compass shifts round to all parts of the circular boundary. So the directions east and west crossing this line continued to form a circle at any given latitude. A westerly circumnavigation is going around with the North Star continuously on the right-hand side, and an easterly circumnavigation is going around with the reverse condition is maintained, so the North Star being on the left-hand side as the journey is made. This is very simple. But unipolar magnets cannot exist here on plain Earth because, in layman's terms, we only have one very special magnetic monopole, and it's what Polaris, our very famous North Star beacon, sits directly under every single night, and she has done for millennia and will continue to do so long after we have left this plain Earth. Now, electric monopoles are everywhere. You've seen them with your own two eyes. But the North Magnetic Monopole is something we are never likely to see. But it's there, my friend. The secrets of electromagnetism and its power are waiting to be discovered. It's the very reason why it's part 15 of this series. It's there, it's real, and it's a real flat Earth fact on the plane. Today's mainstream science will try to explain that the North Pole is on the move. It's unpredictably lurching away from the Canadian Arctic towards Siberia. So maybe we should keep an all-seeing eye on that, my friends, and also see if Polaris is also on the move. I would really like to thank you for your time and your attention. If you are new to the channel, please hit the subscribe and the notification bell. You don't want to miss what's coming up. almost finished the special video we have planned for this year. It should be ready in the coming weeks. I don't want to give anything definite away, as time, well, let's just say punctuality is the thief of time. I'll see you in part 16 though. You take care.